Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today, we have a really interesting video. Breaking news, the White House has just confirmed support for minor changes to the crypto tax proposal. And I just see that my laptop is about to go out. There we go. We plugged it in. We are good to go. Yeah, so the crypto community is rallying against an amendment to the U.S. infrastructure plan that maintains strict reporting requirements for developers and validators while exempting miners. The White House formally backed the last-minute amendment to the infrastructure deal in a late Thursday statement, quote, to clarify the measure to reduce tax evasion in the cryptocurrency market. This statement by White House Deputy Press Secretary Andrew Bates says that the administration believes this provision will strengthen tax compliance. Whoa. Okay, we got a flash storm all of a sudden. All of a sudden, there's some crazy rain. Okay, I hope it's not too awful. Next episode, I'll go sit somewhere else if it's still raining. Oh, damn, I didn't expect that. The provision will strengthen tax compliance in this emerging area of finance and ensure that high-income taxpayers are contributing what they owe under the law. He continued, "We are grateful to Chairman Wyden for his leadership in pushing the Senate to address this issue. However, we believe that the alternative amendment put forward by Senators Warren, Portman, and Sinema strikes the right balance and makes an important step forward in promoting tax compliance." And this is rather interesting because the majority of people I saw were not talking about this one, right? So let's quickly check. On Thursday, Senators Mark Warren and Portman proposed a last-minute amendment and to exclude proof of mining and sellers of hardware and software wallets from the bill. However, the amendment's wording suggests crypto developers and proof-of-stake validators would still be subject to expanded reporting and taxation that some have described it as unworkable. Hours later, the Washington Post economics reporter Jeff Steen tweeted that the White House is formally supporting their amendment. Quote, "Late breaking. White House is coming out formally in support of Warner Portman Cinema Crypto Amendment, implicitly against Toomey Wyden Loomis plan, which we saw yesterday already, right? This is not necessarily new. However, if accurate, that means that the White House isn't supporting a rival amendment proposed by Senator Cynthia Loomis, Pat Toomey, and Ron Wyden, which is the one that we wanted, who provided a much broader list of exemptions, including for any entity validating distributed ledger transactions, entities developing digital assets or their corresponding protocols, as well as miners. Quote, "By clarifying the definition of broker, our amendment will ensure non-financial intermediaries like miners, network validators, and other service providers are not subject to the reporting requirements specified in the bipartisan infrastructure package," Toomey tweeted. And guys, make sure you press this like button. Make sure you press the like button right now. I know we're only 3 minutes into this video, but make sure you press the like button if you enjoy these updates. And if you're done with these parties making things difficult, more difficult than it needs to be, way more difficult. I don't know why they tried to hide all this stuff in an infrastructure bill, but even now you can see they don't want crypto to succeed. At least there's some parties who just want to see the world burn. At least that's the way I've fetched it right now as far as I've read. Coin Center Executive Director Jerry Brito slammed Warner and Portman's much more limited amendment as disastrous, accusing Congress of picking winners and losers. And guys, it's not nice to see. This is not nice to see at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we got more, all right? Don't worry about it. We got more stuff to talk about because it's been a big day. Wow. Senator Warner and Portman are proposing a last-minute amendment competing with the Wyden-Loomis-Toomey amendment. It is disastrous. Let's actually take a step back. If you're wondering what this entire debacle is about, there is an infrastructure bill in the United States, which basically means they're trying to put in some proposed new changes for a plan to fund infrastructure. Let's call it like that. And a part of that bill had to do with the way that they view crypto and how they're going to get money for infrastructure. Let's call it like that, all right? And so one of the things they said is we'll regulate crypto in a certain way. It's a small step, and it's a really bit of a weird step because it's mostly about how they're going to make money and where the tax obligations lie to prevent tax evasion and have a certain amount of money allocated to this. Now, there have been a couple of weird parts in it because, for example, people have asked, why not make a special bill for crypto themselves instead of just the first regulation you do is in such a weird infrastructure bill? Why would it be like that? Why so hurry? All of a sudden, why hide it away? Why not make it full up in the open? Why was it brought up so short up front, basically? Like, why isn't there a lot of time to kind of discuss this? And a couple of other people have pointed out, we saw that yesterday, that some of these small changes hidden somewhere in a bill actually get approved without anybody ever seeing them because they're such minor changes and they're changed at such a short time before the date is due and whatnot. Now, in the bill, which is the negative part, even though things like XRP get quite some nice regulation, potentially in the first bill mostly, the negative side was that there's some tax parts, so mostly tax reporting parts, which would have become impossible. And so the broker definition, which they used in that bill, had to be clarified. And there's two different parties which clarified it. Yet one party, the Loomis and whatnot, had a really elaborate one, which we all liked. And Portman and Warner had a better clarification, but still a bad one. And Jerry Brittle called it ridiculous. So there's been a competing. It is disastrous. It only excludes proof of work mining and does nothing for software developers. Ridiculous. Here's all it excludes. And you can read into it if you want to, but we've already read it. If this passes, this is the U.S. Congress picking winners and losers, so people were really angry and sad about that. But let's quickly check out what has happened over the last couple of hours. This just came out. America's crypto leaders sound the alarm before today's infrastructure bill vote. Two competing amendments to an infrastructure bill differ over who has to hand over customer info to tax authorities. Crypto executives fear that one of them may severely hurt their industry. Whew. The Biden administration's infrastructure bill wants to raise $28 billion in tax from crypto over a decade. It wants crypto brokers to help report those who hold crypto. One amendment, which the crypto industry supports, wants only custodial entities like crypto exchanges to have reporting obligations. And another amendment, which Biden supports, wants to extend that obligation to proof-of-stake entities like validators and protocol developers, which it's about to get really interesting, all right? I'm not exactly sure what time it's going to be. We also have, for example, this is 2 hours ago, Treasury Secretary Yellen, who privately lobbied against tax amendment crypto industry wants. So, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has reportedly raised objections to lawmakers about the crypto tax amendment to the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that is supported by the crypto community. The White House subsequently announced its support for a competing amendment. Things are really getting interesting right now. It's really interesting. Like what? Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, also let go of a couple of words late last night. There are a few key moments that define our future. One is happening now in the Senate with the infrastructure bill. At the 11th hour, Mark Warner has proposed an amendment that would decide which foundational technologies are okay and which are not in crypto. This is disastrous. Senator Mark Warner has asked for proof-of-stake validators to comply with the impossible, but not proof-of-work miners. Why? It's not clear. But we could find ourselves with the Senate deciding which types of crypto will survive government regulation. This is the government trying to pick winners and losers in a nascent industry today, where some new technology, is being developed every month. They are guaranteed to get it wrong by writing in a few exemptions by hand today. Imagine if the government decided that iOS is okay, but Android isn't, and that software developers building on iOS can thrive, but Android is outlawed. Our senators are voting tomorrow on the future of innovation in finance and crypto in America. If they choose, then Senator Mark Warner amendment will see future development of blockchain technology move offshore to countries like China that are currently embracing it. Crypto is still in its early stages. Innovators across the country are working to make crypto networks better, enabling new apps like NFTs, smart contracts, and decentralized finance. These will bring enormous benefits to Americans and help ensure our place as a financial hub. If the U.S. fails to embrace the innovation happening in crypto, it risks becoming a financial backwater, missing out on one of the fastest growing sectors of the economy. Imagine if we had missed out on the internet, and the largest internet companies had been built overseas. This debate in the Senate started because the government sees the growing crypto industry as a source of tax revenue. We agree everyone must pay their taxes. There's no debate on this topic, but destroying some of the most exciting innovations in the process is unconscionable. Again, not a native English speaker, I don't know what that word means. History will not be kind to any politician who tries to block Americans' access to new technologies. I get that. Americans have a very low tolerance for taking our rights away and harming economic growth. Contact your senators and urge them to vote for the Wyden-Loomis-Toomey Amendment and vote no on the Warren-Portman Amendment. Let's keep crypto alive and thriving. We're just getting started. And this is where things get interesting. Elon Musk came in to say, agreed. This is not the time to pick technology winners or losers in crypto tech. There is no crisis that compels hasty legislation. And even one of the co-founders of Dogecoin said, that's cool. Can we make a tiny committee to decide which senators are okay and which ones aren't? Because, well, it is strange. Let's put it like that. It's just odd. The way it's been going right now is just unthinkable, in my opinion. And I got to kind of look up here at what time the final vote is going to be. Let me quickly see here. How can I check that out? I don't know how that's supposed to work. Let me quickly see, guys. U.S. Infrastructure Bill vote time. If I type that in, let's see if I can actually find something. That's okay. I see 37 minutes ago, Schumer vows to keep U.S. Senate in session until infrastructure bill passes. That's 30 minutes ago. That was just put up by the Reuters.com. It basically says the U.S. Senate met for the second weekend in a row on Saturday in hopes of passing a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, with its top Democrat warning members he would hold them in Washington through their scheduled summer break if needed. Wow, let me quickly see if I can find a time for that too. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section down below. I will definitely update you guys a little bit later today if we get any... Okay, wait, let me see here. So far, the current bill has attracted backing from enough Republicans to comfortably surpass the Senate's 60-vote threshold, along with unanimous support from the chamber's 50 Democrats. But the legislation is still opposed by most of the Senate's 50 Republicans and by Trump, who has regularly blasted moderate Republicans and McConnell over their support. Trump made infrastructure spending a key plank of his 2016 presidential campaign, but never made it a priority once he got into office and was unable to get legislation through Congress. Some top Republicans believe Saturday's vote on whether the limit debate could be a turning point. But I still don't... I guess it's already ongoing, kind of, but it depends on when they get to a conclusion, right? Because that's usually how these things move. At least that's what I've kind of fetched over the last couple of weeks, looking into more of these things. Yeah, I should have actually done this live, and then maybe we come to a conclusion. I guess let's do it this way, guys. If there's anything really important that's all of a sudden popping up, I will give you guys a breaking news update, and we'll go live. But as it currently stands, I have done my best to figure everything out, but I believe that it could still take a couple of days to get to a conclusion, right? But they're going to start now. At least that's what I've kind of gotten from all of this. Because, for example, with Gary Gensler, when he got to get into office, they, for example, were voting on it one day, but they couldn't come to a conclusion, and it took an additional 1 or 2 days. Remember that? At least I remember. So that's kind of the same thing I'm seeing right here, that it might happen today, it might happen in a couple of days from now, but at least the process is going to start today or is scheduled for today. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section down below. Please, please, please. Because I'm not too good with all this stuff. And even though I've done my research and I've tried, it's pretty difficult for me, alright? So, yeah, whatever you can do, whatever you can provide, please do that in the comment section down below. All big exchange owners, all big guys with any influence in the crypto space have really opposed this with their biggest might yet. Whew, it's about to get really interesting, guys, because this is going to be game-changing in crypto. And then our really fun thing is Brian Brooks, ex-OCC head, right now he was the CEO of Binance US, has left his job, citing differences with the board, just as the head of Binance Brazil did 3 weeks ago, which is interesting, but I'll cover this further on my 5-Minute Crypto channel, so make sure you subscribe to that one too.